jumpers? You've been jumping out of helicopters and fighting fires. And what have you been doing?
Well, I did that last year. But I guess this year I did that. But I just do me. You know, I'm out there running, working out, and just trying to find out more of what this is all about. Trying to find out more what I'm all about. So that takes me getting away. You know, I'm not about even doing these podcasts, man. So nothing against you, but I'm not about all this stuff. I'm not one that likes to hear himself talk a lot. I'm about action, and action means less talking and more doing. So that's where I've been.
What is that smoke jumping stuff?
So basically, it's you know about wildland firefighting, about when the forest has fires. There's a lot of times there's roads and there's access to get there. So these, you know, whether it be a hotshot crew or whatever, these different crews who come in by vehicle, they can get into the fire that way. What a smoke jumper is you can't get a vehicle into that place. It is a spot where it's tight. There's no vehicles, there's no access. So they'll send us in there, smoke jumpers, jump out of airplanes, and we'll land in these really tight, small drop zones with all of our gear, and we'll put the fire out.
How do you take water in?
We jump out. So everything is...
Hang on, you're jumping out of a...
airplane, parachute.
With backpacks of water, like a camel pack type thing?
So we'll jump out, we'll have this, it's called a ditty pack, and it sits in, you know, it sits like by your waist, you know,
yep,
on your legs area when you jump out, and that has a lot of your gear. But what happens is once you jump out, the aircraft will go lower and will push out all the rest of your gear, your water pumps.
Oh, and that'll get airdropped in with its own little parachutes.
Right.
Right, got you.
So a lot of our main gear gets dropped into us. And then we're out there for several days until the fire is put out by us and only us.
That's insane.
It's insane, yeah.
Why do you do that?
Well, when I left the military, I'm always looking for more. I'm always looking for what's the next thing for myself. How can I grow? And that right there was the next thing for me. You know, I didn't want to sit back and, you know, just enjoy my retirement from the military. There's no growth in that. So I decided to go out and do this. So
you jump out of an airplane with a team. You get your kit also parachuted out of the back. You're now in the middle of an area where there's no evac, there's no vehicles that can come and get you. There's a fire. You need to put the fire out, and you don't stop until you're done.
That's it. Sometimes there is a way to get out, but a lot of times it's just, you know, if someone gets hurt on the jump, a lot of times we have to build, like cut down a bunch of trees so a helicopter can come in, land, and get them out. So we are the only access. We have to save ourselves. So a lot of times we are the team to get us in and to get us out.
What was the longest mission exercise that you did?
I think the longest one I did was 7 days. So. And
what's the sort of daily routine? Are you sleeping? Do you get much sleep at all?
No, not really. So what happens is, and the thing about being in Canada, so I do this out of British Columbia. So what happens is there's a lot of daylight. When I'm out there, man, there's a lot of daylight.
In the middle of the summer when it's hottest, right, when you've got tons of, right, okay.
That's right. Yeah, so there's not much dark. So you're basically working a lot of hours.
So one of the things that I've been thinking about is the danger of success making you soft. And this must be something that you've battled with over the last few years.
Right.
More money, more attention, more fame, more free things if you wanted, more opportunities to go places and do stuff with people.
Right.
How have you dealt with this battle of success not making you soft?
You have to cap it. You have to learn to cap success. So what I do is, like right now, I don't like doing podcasts. There's a lot of things I don't do that I have to do now to get the message out there to help people out. And what I mean by capping success, I believe everybody should live their life. So everything that someone says in life, take it with a grain of salt. Take what they give and don't be like, oh, David Goggins said this or whoever said this. No, do not take what I say and do exactly what I say. So for me, what makes me who I am, because my mission is very different than yours or anybody else's. I have to go into a situation where, okay, I'm a guy who wants to make people better. For people to get better, I have to continuously get better myself. for me to do that, I can't just say, oh, I have this resume. The resume is there forever. I'm good. I have to cap my success, because for me to help people out, I can't just say I did it once and I'm good. I have to continue to reinvent the wheel of the mind and figure out more and more ways for you to pull. Because if I have a cookie cutter message, it may hit 5 people out of 25. You just failed. My message needs to be in a way where I can hit all 25 people. It needs to be broad enough to where all 25 people may not like the message, but they're getting something from it. And that is evolution. You must continue to evolve. And you don't evolve, for me, in my job, unless I cap myself somewhere and say, okay, you made this much money, get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. So for me, I must cap myself so I can come back with better, more unique knowledge versus the all that cookie cutter knowledge that's out there. That's why people buy the books I have, because it's not cookie cutter. It's real knowledge.
The other thing now is, when you first started, you were a lone ranger.
Right.
Nobody really knew who you were outside of some obscure endurance places and half-heard truths of these weird myths.
Right.
But now you've got people's expectations layered on top as well. So not only have you got to deal with success potentially making you soft, so you've got to cap that. You've got to say no to more money and opportunities and cool people.
Right.
You've also got this extra layer of expectation that's coming through from other people too. And I think that you talk about trained humility in the new book too. I've got to presume that that fits into this equation.
Right. It fits in big time. And that's one big reason why I do fight fire. Because is that right there. Is that with even some of the most trained people in the world fall back on that. It's easy to talk about. Like I said, when you go through it once, it's a perishable skill. Hardness, mental hardening, mental toughness, it's a perishable skill. Just because you went through some training once and you got through it doesn't mean it lasts fucking forever. And that's where most people hated me in my life, because I realized that. You don't just say, oh, I got it, I'm checked off, I'm good for the rest of my life. That's why you have to recall. You recall on fucking everything. And you definitely must recall when it comes to the mind. That is one of the biggest requalifications you must have. And when you're at that level, you got to recall every fucking day, not once a year.
One of the other things that you did to stop yourself from getting soft was running the Moab 240.
Yep.
Talk me through that experience.
So, I hadn't run a 100-mile race, and I think it was about 6 years. I had, some heart surgeries. I had maybe some questioning in my mind about, I call it part-time savage. I started kind of going through this. I started getting, a little bit injuries, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Things that back in the day never slowed me down. So when I got my head out of my ass and realized that, hey, we have more left, we can still push harder, we're not there yet. I realized, talking to a guy named Cameron Haynes, who did this race, 240-mile race. And I go, is this the new level? Is this the new push? So when I decided to do that race, it was in the back of my mind like, man, I've really become an expert at running 100-mile races. So for me, this was the new level, the 200+ mile race. And what was so amazing about that, as you probably read in the book, I had a hard time the first time doing it. I came back and did better. But what's amazing about the human mind is that it becomes your new norm. Like to think that I can run 200 miles, 240 miles, and that becomes like running 50. I never thought that was possible. This is why I'm always pushing that limit, because I know that within pushing these limits, there's always more. So I end up doing almost like back-to-back 200-mile runs. When the 200-mile race, 240-mile race was hard at once, it became something that was very easy after I figured it out. So that's why that happened.
Well, you got lost on the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And then you went to bed and woke up halfway through the night and nudged Kish and said, how long have we got left until the end of the race? But because you hadn't completed the official route, you couldn't go across the official finish line.
Yeah.
So you ring your race pacers, some of whom had gone home.
Yep.
What do you think? It's
So
3 a.m. and you're ringing people saying, you know that race that we just finished because of health problems?
Right.
Can we go back and finish it?
So the crazy thing about that, in that spot, so I got lost the first time. I got seriously sick, was off course. So basically, I bed down about 12 hours. Then I got back in the race. So I was still part of the official race now.
Okay.
So the first time I got lost, I got sick, got back.
Most people get wrong about motivation.
They think it's a permanent fix. They think it's something that is a constant. They think that maybe once I get it, I'm gonna hold on to it. And that's the thing about that I was telling you, that I always talk about. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation. You have to learn to perform without purpose. You have to learn to perform a lot of different things. And that's what people think. They think I need to have this motivation to work out, to study, to be better. So if they don't have it, they just don't fucking do it. And that's where you fail. You have to learn to train your mind well beyond motivation. If you have motivation, that's great. That's some kindling to the fire. All it takes is a little bit of fucking spark and you can burn the whole forest up. But motivation, you have to learn to exist without it. You have to learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. And that's the tricky part about all that shit. Motivation is just a word. You have to have these different things in your mind on where you want to go and know that motivation is not going to get me there. Because I'm not going to always be motivated.
Jocko said the exact same thing. He said that discipline eats motivation for breakfast.
And discipline is good too. But without a clear headspace, there's no discipline.
What do you mean?
So let's say we have a circuit breaker, okay? And I'm loading everything up to one fucking circuit. Just load it up. It's gonna fucking blow. And once that thing blows, man, the circuit's all fucked up. You gotta have each thing plugged into the right spot, like a fucking crowded garage. You can't put anything in it. Once your brain is crowded, discipline is great, motivation is great, but if you can't fit shit in your brain because it's all fucking cluttered with shit, there's no discipline. You may have it sometimes when it fits in that crowded garage of your mind, your own motivator, and she had to do that several times in her life.
Given all of this trauma that you go through, why would you choose to go back and see this tyrant of a father for one last time?
It was the only way for me to move forward. So, like a lot of times, if your back is hurting, it may not be your fucking back. It may be something else in your body that's making your back hurt. For me, I'm like, man, why can't I get past this fucking hurdle? So like I said, I'm always examining myself every day. What is it? What is it? Well, there's only one thing you haven't examined yet, and it's going back to the beast, going back to the demon. So when I went back to him, I realized that was the unsolved mystery. I had to look that man in the eye one more time. Like how I studied that Navy SEAL talking shit and lying, I got it from this part right here in the book. I went and I didn't see him anymore as this beast. I started doing research on him, found out that his dad used to beat him really bad. So his dad would put him in front of a furnace, open the furnace up with the flames coming out, and put him right in front of it, have him bare butt naked, and he would whip the shit out of him. And the whole idea of that is if you move, you're gonna get burned. So stay right here and take your fucking beating. So what happened with him, those demons from his father went to my father, and he tried to transfer them over to me. I had to understand who my father was, understand where he came from, understand why were you so fucking brutal to us. I got my answers, took those answers and made myself better from the answers about him. And so that's why it was necessary for me to go back. I was looking for an apology, so then maybe I could just go be a loser and understand that you fucked me up.
Why would the apology make you a loser?
It would make me feel vindicated.
Justified.
Yes, like, man, you did this to me. I can go be a loser now.
My failings are okay.
This okay.
Yep.
Because you did this. So I was looking for that. And when I went there, I realized, because